Hi, this is David Beckham, and you're listening to the Comedy Cabin with Sean Hegarty. Roll the VT. How are you, man? Yes, hello. What about you? Arita Virtue, how are you? What about you? What's the crack? How's it going? And all the other intro kind of things that people normally say at the beginning of a podcast. Welcome again to the Comedy Cabin. This is episode. I was going to call it episode 2, but I'm wondering if we should call this one episode 1.5. Joe, because I'm thinking of what I'm thinking of doing is I think I might do like 2 episodes a week and give everybody an episode on a Monday and an episode on a Thursday. But the Thursday one's going to be like a shorter one, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever I've got in me basically. And we'll just sort of have a laugh, and it'll be almost like the Monday one. It'll be like we call it maybe the Mondays one. It's little brother. So the little the wee comedy dog kennel almost. You're very welcome. It's Sean Hegarty, your host. I'm coming to you live from the Comedy Cabin. Not live when you're listening to this or watching this, but live as and when recording it. I'll not be doing any editing or anything on this. This will just be going straight out, and we'll have ourselves a laugh. We'll have ourselves a bit of fun, and we'll see what's going on. Here, see, if you're watching this, the back of my Comedy Cabin, I came out and it's actually quite wet tonight. Oh, that's what she said. The back wall has just let quite a bit of rain in over the past few days since I was in here last on Sunday recording for Monday's debut episode, so I'm a bit gutted about that. So I'm gonna have to maybe sort that out over the next couple of days. If you can see behind me too, I have like almost like a no more nails kind of sealant that I've sort of rubbed on it, and it's kind of like ruined a lot of the wood as well. So it's kind of crap that is so visible to me. But you know, I built it myself. Still really proud of it. Might knock it down in a few months and buy a big jumbo studio. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? That'd be the dream. I was going to advertise as well for people who wanted to advertise, basically. If you're watching or listening to this and you would like to advertise, what I want to do is I want to give a few people a COVID special. So this episode went out on Monday, right? I'm recording this one on Wednesday, which is 2 days later, and in that time it's been watched and listened to by about 1,000 people, which is amazing. Either that or the same person has just watched this on repeat relentlessly for the past couple of days, which also is quite amazing and deserves some kind of Jim will fix it but like less rapey award. So maybe we could sort that out if there is anybody who has watched this more than like maybe 30 or 40 times. But yeah, I'm delighted. Amazing that the people have give this a go, and hopefully people stick with it. I know just from based on doing podcasts in the past, I know that podcasts at the start, everyone's like, "Oh, let's see what this is like." Then a lot of it's kind of drops off a bit of the audience, and then what happens from then? Excuse me, is it just kind of like sort of slowly builds then over a period of time, which I'm cool with. I've almost zero expectations with this. I've been working hard trying to create something really fun, really positive, really enlightening and joyful, just in a way for people to either take their mind off what's going on in the everyday world, or just to kind of give people an insight into my life, and at the same time keep me active and sort of keep the comedy brain ticking over while we're all stuck in yet another lockdown. So, as I was saying, yeah, anybody who wants to advertise, I want to almost do a shout out, right? Because this has gone out to so many people at the very start, and hopefully it's going to grow. I want it to grow every single episode, and I want every single episode to get more and more views and listens than the last. So what I want to do is, rather than put a call out and start charging people to make ads for them, what I want to do is do a shout out for people who are maybe self-employed, people who haven't got any kind of benefit or bursary or whatever you want to call it from the government. I want to do a shout out for anyone who is not, I don't want to say struggling, but anyone who is still working hard and is still trying to get their name and their brand out there. So if you want a special shout out, if you want me to create a mini kind of ad or put your logo on my page or whatever. I'm going to do that for the next couple of weeks, free of charge. I don't want to charge anybody any money, and I want to kind of help as many people as possible by doing this here. So if you want to do that, just hit me up in the DMs wherever you get this, and we'll take it from there. I'll put together a little sort of 10 or 20 second audio clip of your business or what you're trying to do. When I say that as well, I don't want to deal with anyone who has like a vaping product or gambling or anything like that. So if you're doing anything that's kind of like self-employed, give me a shout and I'll see what I can do for you. And if I can help you out in any shape or form, I'll definitely do that. So yeah, give me a shout and we'll take it from there. And hopefully it gets people some work and we all have a great time. And the sooner this gets all wrapped up, the sooner we can all take our tops off and have a big party. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? The vaccine's slowly running out. I see, or it's not running out, rolling out. The vaccine's rolling out, isn't it? It's great to see. It's great to see so many people going to get it. I can't wait to take the vaccine, to be honest. I'm not one of those people who will shy away from taking it. I'm the kind of person who, at this stage, I think because I've lost so much work and so much, just, I feel like my brain has gone to mashed potato. I really do. See, since the first lockdown, I've maybe done about 3 gigs, and I still write jokes. I still write a couple of jokes every day, and I'm one of those people who, unless I have something coming up or something in the diary, it's quite hard for me to sit down and work on stuff, because in my head, and how I've always lived my life from childhood, is I don't plan 6 months ahead. I don't plan a year ahead. I don't have goals and ambitions and stuff, which I probably should. I just live just for the next day or the next week or whatever, and it's quite hard sometimes to kind of feel like, is there ever going to be an end to this? But with the vaccine being rolled out, with Diona as well being pregnant, it means she'll not be able to get it when the baby's born. She'll still not be able to get it because we're hopefully going to breastfeed as well, or she is. I'll not be able to obviously breastfeed because my tits aren't big enough. But yeah, fingers crossed this vaccine just flies out, everybody gets it, and everybody gets back to some kind of normality sometime soon. But at this stage, honestly, I would down that fucking vaccine like a shot. No joke. I would. Joe, like, picture you're at a bar and Mr. Brightside comes on. The DJ plays Mr. Brightside. You asked him for a request an hour and a half ago, but you're that blocked you can't even remember that you requested it. And it comes on, you're like, that's my favourite song! That's my favourite song! Barman hands you a shot and you're just like, whomp. That'll be me with the vaccine, just whomp. I'll even make that noise while I'm trying to swallow. I'll be like, whomp. And that shot will go straight into my tum-tum, and I will hit the dance floor, obviously with one glove on, you know what I mean, and I will have the best night of my life. And I still don't know, do you have to get 2 vaccines? Do you have to get 1 vaccine? I think it's 2, isn't it? It's definitely 2, and they're talking now from 3 weeks. I know someone who actually got the second part of the vaccine, a family member actually, and it's brilliant. She just fucking walks about the shopping centre now like RoboCop, just cough, just willing people to cough in her face, just doesn't care. Walks with her mouth open and her tongue out, just give me everything, I don't care, I'll accept it, my body will reject it but I will accept it. Yeah, can't wait to get the vaccine, cannot wait to get it. What about that wee fucking twerp, what do you call him? Why do I forget everybody's name? Dominic Cummings. Is it Dominic Cummings, the guy? Oh, I can't believe I've done this again. I did it the other night too with Katie Hopkins, and I had to put a little thing down the bottom going, it's Katie Hopkins, because I spent so long going, what's her name? I think it is Dominic Cummings. It is, isn't it? It's Dominic Cummings, not the guy who drove like 500 miles to test his eyesight. Not him, but the guy who is like the health secretary, Matt Hancock. I'm going to get my names right. I am. See, after about 6 weeks, this is what I'm talking about, my brain being mashed potato. After 6 weeks of me doing this, I'm just going to be just rhyming out, just name after name after name. But for the first 6 weeks, you're just going to have to put up with me just going, what do you call that guy? What do you call him? Oh, Dad. That's what you call him, Dad. The guy who gave birth to me. But yeah, I've got a few sort of wee segmenty things and things we're going to try out tonight as well. So why not get into it? We're 10 minutes deep into the podcast. We will do. Joe will do. It's time for a roundup of the world's most pointless news stories of the week. Yes, hello and welcome to the roundup of the world's most pointless news stories of the week. First up, Alan Carr has revealed that he has heard Adele's new album. Kelly Brook bounced up and down on a trampoline. Rebel Wilson has revealed that a male co-star asked her to stick a finger up his hole. JLo got her abs out while dancing naked in a forest. Joe Wicks farted during a live PE class on YouTube. And Katie Piper's hamster ate the other one. That's it for this week's roundup of the world's most pointless news stories of the week. I've been Sean Hegarty. Until next week. Bye bye. So what about that? There's a new segment for you. The world's most pointless news stories of the week, and they are all factual. They are. I've searched for these online, and these are all proper news stories that people genuinely click into and go and read. How bonkers, how mad is that? That's the kind of fame that I want to get to. That's the point I want to get to. Do you know where you're just walking in the park, and you just scratch your arsehole, and it's in the showbiz column within an hour, and someone has made 20 grand and puts their kids through university, just from you scratching your hole in the fucking Boucher Road playing fields. It's unbelievable. That's what I want to do. Do you know? And you see all these paparazzi, like, well, you don't see them around Belfast because there aren't really any celebrities over here, but in England and stuff, and in like California and LA, everywhere, there's like, there's people like sitting out all day and all night and 3-4 days in a row, and you see them with these like big camera lenses, don't you? And they're like, it's like anyone just walks past and they're all, what about you, mate? I'm the RSPB, I'm just bird watching, when the only birds they're watching is like fucking Meghan Markle sunbathing topless 4.5 mile away. And these lads are just like sniffer dogs on mountains, just, I smell tits, I smell tits. Get her, boys, and just click, and next thing you know, the guy has made £500,000. Do you think that, see, I couldn't care less about the royal family, right? And I mean that in the most respectful way. Like, I couldn't care less about the Montgomerys who live at number 51, right? I mean, I wish no harm on anyone, genuinely, but I don't care if someone tells me something about anyone in the royal family. But with that being said, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, leave them alone. They seem dead on. They seem the most dead on out of any member of the royal family that has ever lived. She is of mixed race, which for some reason immediately does not go down well in the UK, which is absolutely baffling. And Prince Harry has finally seen the light, where he is like, do you know what? I don't need all this make-believe bullshit, hiding in a castle all day and having to go and fulfill all these duties of shaking hands with 3,500 people who are about to have seizures because you're face to face with them. Do you ever see as well celebrities who are like in concerts and stuff, and you know, like obviously mostly like artists, pop singers and stuff, where and footballers you see all the time too, where people go up to them and ask for a photo, and basically there is zero interaction anymore between professional footballers or pop stars and the general public. People just genuinely walk up to them now, go, photo, and then hold their phone up, snap a couple of times, and then walk away while looking at their phone. I've genuinely seen that happen at least half a dozen times in the past 6 months, of people approaching, mostly like footballers, where a footballer is just walking with his, obviously with his fucking blingy earpods in, his Beats by 50 Cent, and obviously Beats by Dre. I'm just trying to make that funny, even though it's impossible to do. because that's not funny at all. But the footballer is walking with his AirPods in, and which I'm pretty sure I came up with that term about 5 or 6 years ago when I was making Rodney videos, and I said about AirPods or AirPods, I think I called them AirPods. That's what it was, because you have iPods that were all the rage back then. But you see footballers and they're walking into the football ground or whatever, and somebody just walks up to them and just grunts, even picture photo, pretty much that, just grunts in their face, holds their phone up. The footballer just like goes from straight faced to smiling, and then a second later just straight back to straight face, and just continues walking, and the guy just walks away, and within 30 seconds that footballer is tagged on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and fucking Twitter and every single website that comes with it as well. It's unbelievable. There's zero interaction now between people. But I remember talking about the royal family. They're dead on. Or Meghan Markle and Prince Harry seem to be, but they've got out, haven't they? They've fully escaped. And what a good time to escape with all the stuff that went on with Prince Andrew too. So yeah, let's not get into that, or I'll not be able to do the Royal Variety performance when I win X Factor in 17 years, when I finally am about to give up on my comedy dreams, which I don't have. But I've got a different segment as well. I want to try it with you today, so we'll give this a go. I don't have a visual for this. This is just an audio. So if you're listening to this, you'll notice no different. But if you're watching this, you're just gonna have to start me unlock my phone for the next 5 seconds. But anyway, here we go.
Tell us a joke, the last joke that you wrote. Tell us a joke, the last joke that you wrote. Tell us a joke, the last joke that you wrote. Tell us a joke. Look, just wait up the Ken. Tell us a joke.
So I'm going to tell you a joke, right? And this is the last joke that I have genuinely written. I have notes and what would you call them? Like sections or like titles of all these notes in my phone, and I literally have. Let me see, I'm scrolling. I'm halfway through. Scrolling. I have loads of them. I have one, right? See the first actual memo or note that I have in my notepad? It's a note that my son wrote years ago, right? I mean, last modified, 4th of December 2016. Here's what he wrote, right? This is my son, who is 11 now, so 2016 would have been 7, right? This is what he wrote. It's 2 words. Life's not fair. It's 2 words, 2 sentences. My life's not fair. It's just not fair. My horrid homework isn't fair. And that's it. That's all he's wrote. So I've got that. I've got football cliches. I've got sketch things a Northern Irish ma would say. Bricklayer jokes, wedding jokes, jokes to work on, Slimming World jokes. All like, say if I get booked for doing something, I just create a section on my phone and just start thinking of jokes automatically for it. The Fringe, Rodney's life hacks, 10-minute set, radio pilot, joke topics, prop jokes, sketch ideas. So the list goes on and on and on. But what I have here is like a section at the very top, and it says new jokes number 12. So I've literally, if you think of how many spaces there are in each of your notepads or memos or whatever they're called, I have filled 11 of those just in the past maybe 4 or 5 months. And this is the last joke that I have come up with. Here we go. My drama group met recently to discuss the next show. They were going to put on Cats, but I'm allergic.
Tell us a joke, the last joke that you wrote. Tell us a joke, the last joke that you wrote. Tell us a joke, the last joke that you wrote. Tell us a joke. Look, just wait up the Ken. Tell us a joke.
I like that one. That's a nice one. It's kind of fitting with all the other jingles that I do as well. I create all these jingles myself too. Let's just put that out there. So if you want a jingle made, hit me up and I'll be sure to jingle you up, bad boy, in exchange for some hardcore moolah. So if that's talking your lingo, DM me. Let's chat, bro. There's a thing as well. I noticed this in the news the other night, right? And I'm starting to share all these videos in my podcast of videos that I don't own. So I'm going to say this is from ITV News at 10. And it's hilarious. Pretty much the cops bust into a pub somewhere in England, and these lads had organised a wee lock-in. and they'd met, went through the back of some house into this bar, and they were just like playing pool and having a laugh. About 6 or 7 fellas, and they all got caught, all got busted. 200 quid fine each. And they interviewed one of the fellas outside. He's genuinely off his balls, hammered. Right, he's fully fucking snottered. And this is one of the clips of what he said. There's two of them. I find this here so funny when I watched the news the other night. So have a watch of this here. What do you see?
One of the drinkers wants to talk and seems utterly unrepentant.
You can't go to any shops, but yet you can go to any supermarket and bump into 200 people.
Yeah, but you're supposed to be wearing a mask and you're supposed to be
No.
minimising your contact with other people.
I always wear a mask.
Were you wearing a mask in there?
No.
I always wear a mask. Yeah, but genuinely, were you wearing a mask? Like, we've just busted in, and you and all of your mates are just. It's like the Chippendales in there are practicing while just necking raw vodkas. Like, what? I mean, I always wear a mask, but were you wearing a mask though? No. Unbelievable. That's like saying to someone, I have literally about 20 kids, and they're like, but why do you have 20 kids? That's really like irresponsible. You know, you don't see them half the week and stuff. And you go, yes, but I always wear a condom, literally all the time. Wear a condom. And they're like, you wear a condom with those 20 kids there, were you? That you're not paying to raise? No. But they fully got him as well. It's hilarious. There's another wee clip I'm going to show you too, right? And they fully got him, and he had absolutely no comeback, and he just admitted defeat. Check this one out.
This is why the virus is spreading, is because people like you are not sticking to the rules.
For anyone listening, the guy stared at the interviewer, right? And then just shrugged his shoulders, just far too blocked to even come up with anything worthwhile or any kind of comeback. It's like, imagine you get kicked out of a bar and you're just going for a piss around the back alley, and the bouncer who throws you out is doing like a check around the grounds, and he comes out and he's like, mate, what the fuck are you playing at? I threw you out. What are you doing? And you just don't know what to say, and you're just like, mate, will you ring me a Chinese? You just fully caught, absolutely no comeback. What do you do? I remember about 9 years ago, right? I had arranged to go for a night out with a friend of mine in Lurgan, and he says to me, do you want to go out? And I was like, listen, I don't really have that much money. I'm saving and stuff at the minute. I have my rent due next week. I'm not really up for going out. He goes, listen, lad, leave it up to me. I'll come round with some drinks and we'll head out. And I was like, honestly, don't worry about it. I'm all right. Like, if you're desperate to go out, I'll go out. I'll buy my own drinks. Don't worry about it. He goes, lad, leave it up to me, right? So I get a shower, come back out, get changed, come downstairs, door knocks. He comes in with like 3 blue bags filled to the tits of booze, right? I mean, everything. I actually have an old photo on my BlackBerry of just like Aftershock and Sambuca, and like, do you know the way you think of like, well, we're going out, we'll have a few drinks before we leave, right? My mate literally brings round like a bar full of shots, like just bottles of shots. Like, no ciders, no beer, no alco pops, no White Lightning, right? No Barkbuster. Genuinely comes round with about 150 quid's worth of booze. I'm like, fuck's sake, we could have had a weekend Toilet Mianca for that there, right? He comes round, he lines it all up. I'm like, right, we'll have a few drinks. I try to remain sensible, right? I'm pretty sure I like lifted my kids the next day and stuff, and I wanted to remain quite sensible. He got annihilatedly bollocksed, right? He got fucked off his head. We went out in the bar, we walked it up to the bar. As soon as the hour hit him, he was gone. He was completely out of it. And bear in mind, he's a loose cannon at the best of times, right? Stone cold sober, loose cannon. Used to be in the army and stuff. He's a maniac, right? Such a great lad, though. We go out, we go into the bar and stuff. We're ordering drinks, having a wee dance, whatever, having the crack. Next thing you know, he bokes Like, I mean, fucking... Like, do you know when you used to see kids and their teachers on CBBC when you were younger, or see the children's TV channels, and they were getting gunged? That's what it looked like, as if you picture a teacher just underneath his mouth, and he's just unloading, just blah, 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 right? Vomits for about 30 seconds. And the barman comes over him and he goes, mate, out you go. You're blocked, right? Out you go. In other words, we can't make any more money off you because you physically cannot hold any more booze in your system. Out you go, mate. So I says to him, right here, the night's over. You're pissed. Let's just get some food and we'll go home. And he goes, here, stay there. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Right? I'll be back in 4 minutes and 60 seconds, right? Just you wait there. And I was like, I'm not waiting here because there's bloke everywhere. Wait you over there. So I was like, all right. So I just start talking to people, right? I played for a few football teams and stuff. I know quite a few people around the area. And I'm sitting having drinks. Not a word of a lie. About 5 minutes later, I look down the bar, right? And my mate is like running towards me. Joe, like Bob from Schitt's Creek. And he's just like, and he's running towards me. And I was all, what the fuck? What are you doing? His t-shirt was on inside out and back to front because he had booked all over the front of it, right? And I was all, what are you doing? How did you get back in? He didn't come through the main doors, right? He got kicked out. He ran the whole way around the back of the town, climbed over a big, I would say, a 10-foot wall, right? That is just pebble dashed and nothing more. It's not a wall that you can get your fingers into or anything, right? I don't know how he's done it, whether he's climbed up on a car or flew or what, right? So he climbs over the wall, sprints back up the back of the bar, goes through to some fire exit, and runs up the bar to me laughing. And then I was like, you are not supposed to be in here. He goes, shh, I'll be all right. Do you want a drink? And I was all, yeah, okay, get me a pint of cider. So he goes up to the bar, doesn't even get the order, books his ring up again. Absolutely. Absolutely books all over the bar. And the same bouncer comes up to him. And he's all, what the fuck, mate? I threw you out 10 minutes ago. And he just started laughing. And the bouncer kicked him out again. It was, without doubt, one of the best nights of my life, just for that story. And his name's Ronan, right? I'm just going to leave it at that. Anyone who knows him knows exactly who I'm talking about, because I'm sure they all have stories of their own of his. Oh, I need to take my inhaler. But absolutely amazing. What a guy. I have loads of stories. I could do a segment called Ronan's Stories every single week and give you another story. Do you know what? If I remember for the next one, I'll tell you another one, because I do have quite a few of them, right? And Ronan, if you ever get a chance to watch this, send me a text, because I haven't heard from you in a while. Probably lying in a ditch covered in his own vomit. But yeah, great fun. Let's leave it there, shall we? We're touching on 30 minutes now. You guys have been great. Cheers for your ears. I really appreciate it. And as usual, there's a couple of ways you could support me. Obviously, if you want to download the audio version of this, maybe you started watching it at home, you want to listen to the rest of them in your car, whatever you need to do, or vice versa, just get on Sean Hegarty Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. It should be on Spotify, should be on pretty much everywhere. And if it's not on the platform that you have, message me as well, and I'll try and sort that out as soon as possible. So Sean Hegarty Podcasts is where you can get it, and make sure you subscribe as well. And another thing, just before you go, you would really, 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 I'm trying to see through these teary eyes from laughing. Genuinely, if you want to support me making this podcast, it goes a really, really really, really long way. It really does. I'm going to try and get my back wall here fixed as soon as possible, so your donations will go towards the upkeep of this podcast in the hosting platform that I use, in the video platform that I use, in my cameras, in my electricity and everything like that. So if you want to support me, there's no contracts, there's no signing up, there's nothing at all. You just put in your card details or your payment details, whatever, excuse me, and it sends me as much or as little as you want. You can donate anything from £3, which is the price of a regular coffee in most coffee shops. You can donate anything up to 100 million quid. So if Elon Musk is watching this, get the checkbook out, mate. So ko-fi.com/hegpod. I'll give you that again slower. ko-fi, so it's like coffee, ko-fi.com/hegpod, and your donations go a really, really long way. And what I'm going to do as well is genuinely I'm going to try and, after about maybe every month or every 2 weeks or whatever, when the donations start coming in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to gather all the details of everybody who has donated, and I'm going to do a special live podcast strictly for those people that donate. So if you want to be one of those people, if that's something that you want to get involved in, that would really, really help me. It would go a long way. And as always, I really appreciate you listening. Cheers for your ears. I'm Sean Hegarty. I'll be back on Monday with another episode, all being well. Stay safe, look after yourself, do something nice for somebody, and take care of yourself. Cheers.